Ghengis Khan is often thought of as the most brutal and savage of all ancient conquerors. He rose to power by uniting the nomadic tribes of East Asia and launching gruesome invasions. However, this reputation did not scare Inalchuq, the governor of the Khwarezmian Empire. For when Ghengis sent a caravan of men carrying goods for trade, Inalchuq ordered his army to attack. This decision backfired like no other. I'm Jake Storielli, and this is Laughs from the Past.
Hello and welcome to Laughs from the Past, Season 5, Episode 2. Season 5 is all about historical backfires, as Jake said in the intro. We're talking about Ghengis Khan. Ghengis Khan. You a big Ghengis fan?
Not a huge Ghengis guy. It's a little powerful for me. A little too bloodthirsty.
Yeah, he had like the biggest empire ever, though.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It worked.
I don't know much about him besides the Netflix show Marco Polo. I watched the first season of that, and I think that's actually Genghis Khan's grandson, who's like the main Khan in that show. So that doesn't actually tell me much about Genghis. But I think we're going to learn that crossing him was a dumb idea.
It feels like the stories I know from history don't start off with crossing Genghis Khan was a good thing.
Yeah. Let's ease in to Genghis Khan here. I'm just going to type Genghis Khan trivia. 10 things you need to know before we get into this one particular story.
Okay.
All right. This is from history.com, which you would like to think it was a great website, but I don't think it is. Genghis wasn't his real name, Jake. The man who would become the great Khan of the Mongols was born along the banks of the Onan River sometime around 1162 and originally named Temujin, which means of iron or blacksmith. He didn't get the honorific name Genghis Khan until 1206 when he was proclaimed leader of the Mongols at a tribal meeting known as Khwarezmian.
Yeah. I think we either need to move hospitals or move, like, birthing hospitals near rivers, because that's one of the coolest phrases you can say.
Ritzy, my little sister, was born at Red Bank Hospital, and there's a song by Gaslight Anthem. I was born by the place where the rivers run free. He was born in the same exact hospital. And I always say, Ritz, that's pretty cool. You can say that. You were born on the banks of the Red Bank River.
I mean, it's a powerful statement. When Genghis Khan was born on the banks of the river, it's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like, the world had to be prepared for that.
Where were you born? Danbury? Waterbury?
Valley, bro. I'm Valley trash.
Wow. Derby. There's some water over there.
Griffin Hospital, babe.
Wow. Gryffindor.
You could. There's been. Well, I mean, I won't do my whole Harry Potter thing, but those that know, I'd either be a role player at Gryffindor or a star at Ravenclaw.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Khan is the traditional meaning for leader or ruler, but no one knows why he became Genghis. It may have just meant ocean or just leader. But in context, it is usually translated as supreme ruler or universal ruler. Pretty badass.
Supreme ruler.
Fact number 2. He had a rough childhood.
Okay.
From an early age, Genghis was forced to contend with the brutality of life on the Mongolian steppe. Rival Tatars poisoned his father when he was only 9. That's sad. And his own tribe later expelled his family and left his mother to raise her 7 children alone. How do we know all this? Like, I don't trust any of this.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole, again, some of the origins of this podcast is like, okay, I'm sure there's some information, but do you know?
He grew up hunting and foraging to survive, and as an adolescent, he may have even murdered his own half-brother in a dispute over food. I think we can say maybe he did.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
During his teenage years, rival clans abducted both he and his young wife, and Ghengis spent time as a slave before making a daring escape. Despite all these hardships, by his early 20s, he had established himself as a formidable warrior and leader. After amassing an army of supporters, he began forging alliances with the heads of important tribes. Nice. There is no definitive record of what he looked like, Jake.
I'll tell you what. Getting kidnapped and taken into slavery is a tough childhood. I agree with History.com currently.
And that his father died and his mother was banned from the clan.
It's tough.
That's tough. They kind of undersold it with their opening sentence.
Yeah, that was kind of an underplay.
He had a tough childhood.
He figured things out, but we each have, wasn't great at Little League, but
parents got divorced. Oh no.
Yeah.
One of them got murdered, the other got excommunicated from the tribe.
He was a slave for a little bit.
Some of his most trusted generals were former enemies, the old Abe Lincoln approach. It's actually a really good leadership quality. Surround yourself with opposing viewpoints and make them work together. So good job, Ghengis. He rarely left a score unsettled. I think that's what we're talking about today. And he was responsible for the deaths of as many as 40 million people.
That's Ghengis?
Yeah. Sounds like a disease. We got Ghengis. 40 million people caught Ghengis in 1200.
40 million? Feels high.
You can't even count that high. So like,
that feels high. Yeah, that's I get. That seems a little like history jumped in there. 40 million.
Listen to this. All told, the Mongols' attacks may have reduced the entire population by as much as 11%.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Next fact. Whoever did this at history.com is great. I
was just going to call these fun facts, but fun is really loosely used there.
Listen to this. Fact number 6. He was responsible for the deaths of as many as 40 million people. Fact number 7. He was tolerant of different religions.
Okay. So, yeah. That's ridiculous. Genghis Khan wasn't tolerant of different religions. He just didn't have time to get to religions. He was busy killing.
I think it says he embraced diversity. Whenever he conquered a territory, he let them do whatever they want religiously.
Yeah, he didn't care. He was out to kill.
Yeah. He created one of the first international postal systems.
Okay. Huh.
That's pretty cool. My dad works in the postal industry.
Nice.
Along with the bow and the horse, the Mongols' most potent weapon may have been their vast communication network. One of his earliest decrees as Khan involved the formation of a mounted courier service known as the Yam. Yam. This medieval express consisted of a well-organized series of post houses and way stations strung out across the whole empire. Here's what I don't get. How come someone had to invent that? Like, hey, how do we get a letter from here to there? Well, ride it. There'd be there's some houses along the way you can stop at and then give them the letter and then go on to the next one. That had to be invented? Why is he getting credit for that?
I think people, didn't communicate. Like, it wasn't like, oh, my aunt lives in Thebes, let me send a letter. Like, your aunt lived next door and raised you because you were a slave for a little bit. And then, so I don't think people really cared about communicating that much. And then I think it was kind of, I don't know, I'm trying to picture a situation. If I was just a common folk living in one of Genghis Khan's properties, like why would I be communicating anywhere outside of where I live?
Okay, I agree with that. But leaders of past times before him, so like, a leader in 10,000 or 10 or 1,000 BC, he's in 12,000.
Right.
They couldn't set up a postal system to have letters be carried around? It
I
seems
don't think so. Like right now in my head, I have this story of Marathon. Like, hey, there's a war. Hey, go run and get the message across, and you're gonna die because you have to run and warn the town about the war coming. So, like, no, I don't think communication was there yet.
Okay. All right, so now we've set the time and place and people. Let's get into this
incredible
story.
Murderer. Also interested in the postal game.
And tolerant of religions, a.k.a.
Yeah.
It's so funny that not caring, like, I don't care about any religion. Like, I'm not going to judge you if you like one religion over another religion, but that's because I don't care about any of them at all.
Right.
I don't know if that makes
So does that make you tolerant, or does that make you, like, ignorant?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if people,
it's a fine line.
Yeah, you get credit for not caring about things.
Right.
So,
That's kind of, I mean, that's a backup autobiography for me.
Not caring?
Get credit for not caring about things.
Yeah.
The Jake Storielli story.
Credit for not caring.
Credit for not caring.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Bad decisions in history. Even nearly 800 years after his death, this is an article by Megan Masterson, posted on August 2016 on meganmastersonauthor.com. Wow. Good for you, Megan.
Good for you, Megan.
Even nearly 800 years after his death, Ghengis Khan's name still evokes an image of a brutal and powerful warlord. The Mongolian emperor came to power by uniting many of the nomadic tribes of Northeast Asia and waged a series of invasions to conquer most of Eurasia. While credited with advancing the Mongol Empire and bringing the Silk Road under cohesive political control, his invasion campaigns often employed ruthless tactics, giving him a reputation as a merciless and violent ruler, even during his own lifetime. Okay, nice little preamble, Megan. Here we go.
Sure.
Attacking and looting Ghengis Khan's caravan. This was a bad decision. Interested in establishing the Khwarezmian, how did we say this was pronounced?
Khwarezmian?
Okay, Khwarezmian. Interested in establishing the Khwarezmian Empire, which ruled much of modern-day Iran, as a trading partner, Ghengis Khan sought to create official trade ties by sending a 500-man caravan laden with trade goods. As the caravan neared the Khwarezmian city of Otra, its governor, Inalchuq, decided it was suspicious and ordered an attack against it. He believed the Mongolian caravan carried spies. In fact, it's possible that the caravan did include a few spies. Obviously it did. Ghengis Khan had already expanded his territory quite a lot by this time and was interested in the advantage of a trade union with Khwarezmia. However, it did also carry legitimate trade goods. So how are you feeling about this move so far? He's got this country or this empire by Iran. They got some goods. He wants to trade with them. They got a nice spot set up. He sends 500 of his men, some goods to establish a trade, but obviously there's spies in here as well.
Right. And I mean, like, what's Genghis Khan's rep at this time?
Don't fuck with him.
Right. And, like, yeah, I guess that is kind of the catch-22 of someone like that, because, like, you almost don't want to go into business with that guy because it doesn't probably end well for you.
You just hope Genghis Khan doesn't find you on the map. When he does, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So they thought it looked suspicious. They thought there were spies in there. Like, of course there's spies in there. You think Genghis is going to send 500 men, and when they come back, he's not going to ask them, like, hey, what was Khwarezmian like?
Yeah. If you were, I mean, just off the top of your head, if you were going to take down the city, what would you do?
Well, actually, I think he legitimately wanted to trade, because when Genghis wanted to take down a city, he didn't do a 500-man caravan.
Right, but I think I don't know. I feel like there's a process. Like, okay, yeah, let's trade with Genghis Khan. Oh, he really likes the goods we have to trade. Okay, he's taking over. We're all dead.
Yeah, bad way either way you put it. But another theory is that Inalchuq was offended when members of the caravan failed to address him by his proper title of Ghengis Khan. While this may have occurred, it's more likely that the fear of spies carried more weight in his subsequent actions. Inalchuq was an uncle of the Shah, Muhammad II. With his permission, Inalchuq executed the entire caravan and sold all of the goods it carried. After the attack, Inalchuq refused to make reparations to Ghengis Khan for the looting of the caravans and the loss of the goods. Allegedly, a camel driver survived and fled back to Mongolia carrying the tale. In response, Ghengis Khan sent 3 ambassadors to meet with the Shah to explain the trade intent and to demand that Inalchuq be punished for the theft of goods and execution of people. That's nice. Hey, you killed 500 of my men. I still just want to trade with you, though, dog. So can you apologize?
Yeah. Please.
Because if Genghis wants to go scorched earth, he goes scorched earth right away.
Yeah. Then I don't know. I feel like, again, like taking responsibility now and then, you know, and again, things would be tapered down. Maybe we'll bring this to the business world. Maybe this was, you know, Inalchuq was stealing 500 of Genghis Khan's customers. Genghis Khan has this huge company, and Inalchuq, you know, at the end of the day, if he takes responsibility for it, it's like, all right, you're going to go to jail for 10 years. You practiced bad business stuff. That was rude. Back then, I mean, whatever happened when Inalchuq made this decision, his death was coming. You know?
Yeah, it was inevitable. He messed with Genghis, man.
Yeah, a total swing and a miss. I don't know if he was having a bad day or what it was, but swing and a miss tactically by Inalchuq.
Okay, so when Genghis Khan sends these, what were they called, like ambassadors or whatever? When he sends them to Inalchuq, what do you think his proper response should be?
I'd like to think I'd be a pretty good ambassador for Genghis Khan.
You don't want to fuck with him.
Like, a couple witty jokes here and just kind of doing my shoulders up like, I'm just telling you, you probably don't want me telling Genghis Khan some bad news.
I'm the messenger, but I can carry a pretty heavy message.
I'm your friend right now. I don't know. It's not going to end well. I feel like we know this.
So in response to the 3 ambassadors, the Shah executed at least one of them. Common consensus regarding this incident is that 2 of the ambassadors were Mongols, and the Shah had their beards shaved as a sign of humiliation.
Wow.
And sent them back to Genghis Khan. The 3rd ambassador, a Muslim, was executed and his head sent back as a grim message.
I mean, what's going on? Was Genghis Khan's rep not known? These are all terrible decisions.
Yeah, it's all-time backfired material.
Oh, you're on pace to kill 11% of the population. Here's a head in a box.
What are you going to do about this, Genghis?
Bad call.
Really bad call. Outraged by this response, because he's now had 500 of his men, all of his goods stolen, and his ambassadors murdered and humiliated. So, unhappy with that, Genghis Khan commenced planning one of his largest invasion campaigns to date, enlisting his most capable generals, including some of his sons. He amassed 100,000 soldiers and advanced on the Khwarezmian Empire. So, like 500 was scary. How about 100,000?
Yeah, let's multiply this a little bit.
His invasion plan involved dividing his army into 3 groups. The first moved northeast, the second southeast, and the third northwest. The triple-pointed attack was particularly effective due to the Shah's decision to concentrate his army in small groups posted in several cities. It was easier for the Mongols to face fractions of the Khwarezmian forces instead of a larger unified army. The Mongols seized Otrar, which must have been particularly satisfying for Genghis Khan, given it was the same city that Inalchuq governed. In a brutal conquest, Genghis Khan had most of the civilians either massacred or enslaved, and he executed Inalchuq by pouring molten silver into his eyes and ears.
Head full of silver. You hear about death, and you don't hear that one as much nowadays than you did back then.
George R. R. Martin had to hear about this because that's what he wrote in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The gold.
Hey, did you hear about Inalchuq? Oh no, what happened? Head full of silver.
Yeah. Oh, he got a nice head. He got a nice headpiece.
Yeah.
Nice crown for the Khan. Oh no. Genghis filled his eyes and ears with silver. He's dead now.
So dead. Heavy head.
What did he do? Why was Genghis so mad at him? Oh, he killed 500 of his men, stole all his goods.
Yeah.
Why? Why would Inalchuq do that? Did he not know it was Genghis's men? Oh, he knew.
It's
he
Genghis
knew.
Khan. What's he thinking?
This is stupid.
It's really dumb.
The Mongols also captured the capital of Samarkand, using the bodies of their captured enemies as shields. Gross.
Tough.
This harsh tactic heralded the rest of the treatment of the people of Samarkand, who were mostly executed, their heads displayed as a symbol of the Mongolian victory. The Mongols also took the city of Bukhara, which was not heavily fortified. As they looted the city, a fire broke out, which burned most of it to the ground. Allegedly, Genghis Khan announced to the survivors that he was the flail of God, sent to punish them for their sins. This vicious mindset continued during the fall of the city of Urgench, which is considered one of the bloodiest massacres in history. According to the Persian scholar Giovanni, 50,000 Mongol soldiers were ordered to execute 24 Urgench citizens each. Shit.
50,000 times 24. Yeah. It's a big number.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. Like, I think some guys were sharing kills.
Killing each other over kills. Like, come on, dude. I'm only at 19.
Those two you took down back there. How about we call those R2, huh?
Joe, did you just kill your 26th man? It's only need 24. I'm at fucking 10.
Yeah, the overachievers were real assholes.
God. Genghis Khan began a ruthless quest to destroy the remnants of the Khwarezmian Empire. Royal buildings, towns, and even farmland were razed, and the capital was moved to Bukhara. Some accounts say that Genghis Khan even had a river diverted through the Shah's birthplace. What? Who cares? He's dead.
Okay, boss. What do we got today? You know, we're gonna take over another town. You want me to make someone a silverhead or what? Get some rocks, boys. We're diverting a river.
Why?
Oh, okay. Is it so we can, access the water easy? Or... No. That guy's really in my head, so I'm just gonna move that river through his birthplace, and then I should be okay with it.
But just want to make sure they can't put any statues or monuments at his birth town.
Just so no one can ever be birthed there.
That is fucking petty.
Don't mess with Genghis, dude. He just wanted to trade a little bit. It kind of forced his hand.
Yeah. They erased the birthplace from the map. He also tasked two of his generals to hunt down the Shah, who had since fled for his life. giving them 20,000 soldiers for assistance. To hunt down one dude? That dude got to kill himself so bad.
Where do you go even?
Start walking?
Just walk until you go somewhere.
It's like you can put on a wig or something, shave his head. How do you disguise yourself?
No idea. And then, like, it's not like, it's not Denver 2019. It's not like I moved to town. Like, if someone moves to your town back then who walks there, that's the guy.
Check this out. The Shah went to an island, and he was then later found dead on that island. That's a cool play. Go to an island.
Yeah.
Who's gonna
Vacation.
Who's gonna check all the islands?
When did going to the beach start becoming a thing?
I think since the dawn of time, since people started living at the beaches.
Like if back in ancient Greece, it was like, hey, let's have a beach day today? Because I've never seen that in any ancient Greece stuff.
Well, I'm sure people enjoyed swimming in the ocean always. Like, do you think they got a towel and they laid out? I don't know.
I don't know. That's kind of what I'm saying.
This can't be a question. When did going to the beach become popular? The weird origins of going to the beach. That's the name of this article.
Here we go.
Wow. What did we stumble upon? They want me to pay to read this article. I don't want to pay.
No chance.
I don't want to pay to read the article about the history. Okay, I think I got it. I don't want to pay to read the article. These motherfuckers. Washington Poach. All right, I found another one from the Smithsonian, Jake.
Okay.
This one's called Inventing the Beach, the Unnatural History of a Natural Place.
I'm just saying, like, I think the beach used to be like literally a bathing area. And then at some point it became like relaxation.
From antiquity up through the 18th century, the beach stirred fear and anxiety in the popular imagination. The coastal landscape was synonymous with dangerous wilderness. It was where shipwrecks and natural disasters occurred, where a biblical flood engulfed the world. In classical mythology, the wrath of the ocean is a major theme. The beach, a bearer of misfortune. Tears flow on Homer's shores while monsters lurk in the surf. Okay, we got that. How is the beach transformed from perilous place to preferred vacation destination? Its white sand and rolling waves becoming the ultimate landscape of leisure. The modern embrace of the beach for the purposes of health and hedonism, recreation and retreat came with the rise of urban industrial society. The European discovery of the beach is a reminder that human ideas about nature have changed over time, with real consequences for the environment and the world. Around the mid-18th century, according to Corbin, European elites began touting the curative qualities of fresh air, exercise, and sea bathing. So it's once it was taken away from them and they went to live in the cities and it was like dirty old town and the Industrial Revolution, they're like, man, I miss that fresh air.
That's what I'm saying. It's more recent in like history than you'd think.
The notion of the restorative sea was born. Interesting. So there's this says that the beach held the promise of self-discovery. From the shore, these guys painted rugged vistas with expressive intensity, creating a new pictorial subject, the seascape. The term, according to Google Nagram, wasn't used until 1804. So seascape, that term, like pictures of people on the sea, wasn't used till 1804. So we're looking at early 1800s, late 1700s, the beach became a thing.
It's pretty wild.
It was pretty wild. How did we get there from this? The guy went to an island.
Shah went to the island to try to escape, and we thought, oh, that was a smart move. That was he probably was pretty relaxing, and then, but actually in that time period, islands were like fearful places.
The ocean's wrath was upon him.
Scared of the water, yeah.
By 1120, the Khwarezmian Empire was devastated by the Mongolian conquest. The Shah's son, Jalal ad-Din Migburnu, who preferred to take the title Sultan instead of Shah, good call, still had many loyal followers and struggled to consolidate power. He spent the remainder of his life battling the Mongols, but was killed by highwaymen in 1231. The outcome of this bad decision? The demolition of an empire. One of the bloodiest massacres in history. A grisly death to inspire Game of Thrones. Possible geographical changes after rerouting a river.
Pretty good.
People forget about the geographical changes. 11% of the population, an entire empire, cities gone to the ground, all the murders.
Was that a great day for the local map maker or a miserable day?
Having to redo the river?
Like, do you think he's like, God, are you kidding me? You moved that river, I've got to make a whole new map? Or do you think the map maker loved making maps so much he was giddy he got to make a new one?
No, he liked it because he didn't have to survey it. Genghis came to him and was like, where's his hometown? Where's the closest river? Show me the map. And he showed him the map and he was like, okay, see that river? I'm moving it here. And he was like, oh, cool. Shit, I'll just do it right now on the map then. I don't even need to wait for you to do it. I know exactly where it's going to be.
Okay.
Easy peasy. That guy's hometown, though. Long lost relative went to like Rome. Comes back, visit their brother. Rivers going through the damn town.
Just looking around left and right.
No one's alive, and the river's going through. Where I swear, this is where my best friend, my brother, lived.
Because that tree, something's off.
Don't fuck with Genghis Khan.
Yeah, that's But I mean, we still don't have a good reason that. What's this idiot's name? Iroquois? Inalchuq. Like, we still don't have a good reason Inalchuq went off, right?
He just thought that he didn't fear. He did not fear Genghis Khan.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Such a mistake. I'm scared of him now.
Yeah,
and there's no way he's around.
Like if you were on the Jersey boardwalk, and there was some guy who was like, "I'm actually." Genghis Khan reincarnated. I think you'd be pretty scared of that person.
You know what I just thought? Like Mongol became, in English, kind of a slang term for like ruthless, would you say?
I'd say like ruthless and kind of like dumb. Is that wrong?
Slovenly?
Like you wouldn't think Mongols are like the thinking type.
The way it became slang in America, yeah.
Yeah.
But like Mongolia still exists and Mongols are still a people.
Yeah.
But I don't associate the word Mongol with Mongolian people.
How's Genghis Khan thought of in Mongolia? Is he like a legend?
I don't know. I'm very interested. Can I Google that? Is that a thing?
I guess so. I think it's a thing if you could Google up when did beaches become popular.
How is Genghis Khan thought of in Mongolia today? Mongolia sees Genghis Khan's good side, says this one article in the New York Times. It's nice of them.
Yeah. It's history.
Genghis Khan wasn't really a bad guy, El Bajorf Tashaki says. And I'm locked out. Got to pay to read that.
Nope.
Bummer. What's the biggest backfire so far? The rats, the French in Hanoi from the last episode, or this one? This one's bigger, right? I mean, you erased an empire.
Yeah, I guess for me, this almost isn't like a. I mean, it totally is a backfire.
You think it was happening either way?
I think there's a little bit of that, and it's just like, how did you think this was going to play out? Like when Inalchuq, Inalchuq, when he originally killed those 500 men, like what did he think the next step was? Like, guess we won't be seeing Ghengis Khan.
Maybe thought,
Like-
Genghis is going to be scared of me now. I just poked fear into that man.
It's a big mistake.
Huge. One of the biggest.
Dumb.
And had you ever heard of the Khwarezmian Empire?
No.
See, have you heard of the Mongolian Empire?
Yeah.
There you go. There you have it. You like Mongolian beef places?
I think I will. I went once and I didn't do it right.
What do you mean you didn't do it right?
I didn't do it right.
What'd you do wrong?
I didn't get the good stuff, I don't think.
I'm talking about the places where the food's out and you bring it to the cook in the center. He cooks it.
I was totally confusing it with something else. I'm okay with those places, Jim. My eyes normally deceive me, and I just bring up either too much meat or too much pasta.
Yeah. You're just like, I'm going to load this up. It's hard to find that balance when you realize what actual chefs do and how much little stuff they put in there to make all the flavors taste good. And then you choose your own. You're like, just fucking all the meat.
Yeah, and I feel like it's too many decisions. Because you have to pick the sauce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm going up and I'm getting the proper sauce, amount of stuff, and proper fixings with it. I'm just gonna walk away with basically a bowl of meat with one sauce on it.
Do you think that's considered a backfire, or just you shouldn't have ever been put in that situation to begin with? Didn't we go to a place with AJ in Tahoe? Yeah, we did. When we road tripped, you, me, and Evan.
No idea.
Yeah, before we got to Davis. We definitely did. It was really good. Fire and ice.
Cool.
You enjoyed it. You had a great time.
Sure.
Nah, you probably messed up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. That ends this episode of Last from the Past, Season 2, Season 5.
Nailed it.
Episode 2, Historical Backfires. We'll be back next week. We got a couple more. Jake, what'd you learn today? What's the number one thing you learned? What's your number one takeaway?
Genghis Khan invented the postal service.
Boom. That's what you need to know. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, next week.